Hello everyone, and welcome to this Leontech 3-month skills training. I am Alfred Bayo, and I am here to take you through step by step the Autodesk Revit Architecture 2020 class. This is the fourth tutorial, and today we are looking at modeling walls. We are looking at how we can select wall type and modify them, how we can explore various draw options from the conceptual tab, and then now we can modify our already drawn wall. This is a series tutorial on this Revit architecture, and in case you've missed the previous tutorials, you can always check us on YouTube. Ensure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification so that whenever there are videos from our site, you will be notified so that you don't miss out. Let us not waste much time. Let us go into the Revit architecture. So from our previous videos, of course, you should be familiar with the workspace now, the interface. So we are under the architectural tab, and this is where we access our building elements. So we see wall here. So we can click on this drop down menu from wall, so you can see the various families of walls we can select from here. But now clicking on the command itself gives you this property tool palette with all the type specifications in this property tool palette. And then you see that the conceptual tab also opens, where you can access tools you would use to kind of apply the selected wall appropriately. And then you also have these quick access parameters here about the wall right on top of this window that you can access. So we are starting off with selecting the wall type. So you see on the top of the property tool palette here, we can click on this drop down menu, and then there are a list of walls there we can select from, starting all the way up. So you have these exterior walls, a lot of them. Then you have this basic type of walls, some with footing, and then you have a set of curtain walls here, and then you have some stack walls at the bottom. So let's say we select this basic type of wall. Now, even before we apply this wall in our model, of course, you see we are on the floor plan. We are on level 0 presently. So even before we apply this particular wall in our model, we can always go and edit this type of wall we've selected. So selecting the type of wall is one. We can also edit the type of wall from this tool here in the property tool palette. If I click here, it takes me to this dialog box, the wall type property dialog box. So you see that first I can select the family to which this particular wall will belong. So presently it belongs to just basic wall. Clicking here, you see it's either a curtain wall or a stack wall. So we will leave it at basic wall. Now, before you go into editing anything about the wall, it is always advisable you first duplicate it so that any modification you do on this wall will not affect the original wall that exists in the software, so that there is always a room for modification, or you maintain the originality of the components that are within the software. So in here, of course, we've already selected the basic wall from this drop-down menu. The list you see in here is the same thing under this drop-down menu from here. So we are duplicating, and then in the name specification, we are giving this, say, 150 millimeter exterior wall. Okay, then we click OK from here. Now we have this name. So the name is typical of the structure of the wall. So we are creating some kind of 150 millimeter wall. That is something about 6 inches wall, if you are familiar with the other kind of unit. So here under the property, we have this list here, properties, and then their respective values. So these are the parameters we will kind of edit. So we are focusing on the structure for now. So we click on edit just on the right hand side of structure. So we click, now it takes us to the different layers in this wall and their respective thicknesses. So now you see a summary of the description of this wall up here, and then you see the sample height at this point. This one depends on the height, the level height or whatever. Okay. So presently there is only one layer in this wall. Even from here you can see that the wall has only one layer, which is this main layer, and the thickness presently is 440 millimeter. So we can change this to 150 millimeter because that is our specification. And then let's say we want to add some more layers to this wall. For instance, we want to add one layer to be the interior layer and then one to be exterior layer of this particular wall. So here we have insert. We can click on insert. Then we have one layer up. Then we can specify the thickness of this layer, say for instance 12 millimeter. And then we can add one more layer. But now this layer, we do not want it to be on top. We rather want it to be at the bottom of the 150 millimeter layer. So we click on down. So since this layer is selected in black, click on it down, bring it down and bring it down here. Then we specify the thickness to be 12 millimeter. Good. So we've now set the different layers in the wall and their respective thicknesses. So since we have set the thicknesses of the wall, the next thing we may think of is to set the materials. Okay. So for instance, the main layer, which is 150 millimeter layer presently, the material there is concrete. To change that or to edit it to whatever, you can click on this three dots towards the right of it here. Then it takes you to your material browser. So in here you have piles of materials you can select from. So depending on the kind of material you're looking for, you may click on this drop down menu here and then you see material preset. So let's say we are looking for concrete and click. So these are the different concrete that are available. So you can click on any one of them. So you see there are a lot of preset concrete materials available already. So you can click on any one. So if I am looking for something like this, I can right click on it and I duplicate first. And then these duplicates, I give it a name. Say this is my 150 millimeter exterior wall. Now this is the material. So I click here. Now you see that we have this color applied to it. We can go ahead and select the color we want from here. Say we have this color, for instance, and then we click OK. So we are into the edit tab here. So basically you have this the surface pattern of the material, and we are not having much to do with this presently. Let us look at the appearance of this material. So you see from the surface, concrete material is this one. So let us see, the concrete material is this. Good. So we can put on the environment to see a preview here as we edit. So now we have this particular image here set as the way the material would appear. Okay. So look at the kind of material from the preview here, as you can see. So this is the JPEG slot that is showing you this image here that depicts how the material appears. So let's say we are not okay with this particular appearance. We can click on this and then we can come to the Revit architecture library where we have a lot of JPEG images, bitmaps, where we can select appropriate material or a concrete material or whatever material we are looking for. So since we are editing some kind of a concrete, we can select concrete, something that looks like concrete from here. Or if you have an image or a bitmap you've downloaded, you can always go back to your PC storage and you can look for where you've downloaded it. For instance, I have a lot of texture maps. From here, I can look for a texture map in a folder where I probably may have saved it. Texture map, say I look for some concrete, and then so this is a concrete material, this is a concrete material, all of them are concrete materials, so it depends on what I want. So let's say I select this. I may select this particular one, this first one. May open it and see if you want to. This is a concrete material. So I just close this one, and then having selected it, I can click open from here. So you see this is the image we have applied in there. You can click apply and click OK from here. So basically this is how you add the appearances of the kind of materials to each of these layers here, and then you click OK from there, and sure, you are here again. So most of the other parameters about this wall here, we will kind of look at them in different topics as time goes on. So we click OK from here, and then we come back. Good. So back here, even before we draw the wall, so you see there are different draw options here. So we can draw the wall as if it were a straight line, or we can draw it in rectangular form or using some polygons or so. So first, rectangle, just a straight line. So we click, and then as we draw, you see that the wall has a specified justification with our cursor. This one is determined by the locate or the location line from here. So if I had set the location line presently, say to the center line where it was set by default, and I click, you see that my cursor is at the center of the wall. So let's say I select the finished face exterior, and then I click again. You see that my cursor is towards the finished face upward. So this is how you kind of justify your cursor relative to the wall you're drawing. So we draw using a straight line, draw a wall, or you use a rectangle, draw a wall, or you can use a polygon. Presently by default, this is 6 sides. So we can draw an hexagonal shape of a wall. Good. So you have these other draw options here you can use. So now we've drawn a wall. So let's say we have a straight wall here and some other points also. So now let's see. Let's say we want to kind of offset a wall. So you see offset tool here. So we can click on offset. Then we specify the offset distance, say 1 meter. And then we can pick on this wall. So you see, since we are coming from the bottom of the wall upward and selecting the wall, the offset is towards that direction we are coming from. Or if we were coming from upward and select this wall, the offset is upward. So depending on how you want to offset the wall, then you can go ahead and come from the right direction. That is how you offset a wall. Let's say you want to mirror a wall, but by picking an axis of mirror or the mirror axis. Let's say we want to mirror a wall over some mirror axis. So let's say we want to mirror this wall, we select it, then we select the mirror tool here. The one that has the cursor attached to it is the mirror by picking an axis, an existing axis. So I click on this one. Then let's say I specify this axis here. Center of this wall to be the axis of mirror. I click. But now you see that if I click, the wall appears towards the right hand side. That is one. So let's say we want to mirror a wall by about an axis, but we don't have any line on that axis. So we can pick, for instance, this wall, and then we can select this option. We can come here, some distance, click, and then we click here again, and then you have this one mirrored across it. Okay, so let's say we want to trim and extend. Of course, you can move, you can copy, you can rotate. But let's look at trim and extend. So we have trim and extend, say this wall and this wall. So you see how it functions. This wall and this wall, this wall and this wall, this one and this one. So good. Well, let's say we only want to trim. So we select the reference wall, and then we select the wall we want to extend to that point. That is how we trim. So of course you can do this by a form of multiple trimming, and then you can scale, you can array, and so this brings us to the end of this particular tutorial. Coming up next, we will kind of import floor plan, and we will trace the footprint of the floor plan using a predefined wall. So don't miss out.